Take it away, Tony.
Thank you, Carl. So I live in Martinsville, Indiana. I was raised in Newcastle, Indiana, and a lifetime friend of mine since third grade, Mike Kovaleski, called me, and we hadn't talked a whole lot over the last few months. And he said, Tony, he said, there's something I've got to get with you and show you. And I just said, Mike, I'm not interested. I know that line. He said, no. He said, I said, you're a network marketer, Mike. He said, no. He said, I'm just, in a polite way, he told me to be quiet, but because we've been friends since third grade. So he told me his story, and I listened to it. And then it was, I think it was the next day, I pulled my car over and I parked in a Kroger parking lot. And I called Mike. I said, Mike, I need to know more about this, man. And he just went over the same thing, his story. He didn't even really talk to me about the business part of it. And then the third day I called him, and he started laughing. He said, we've talked more in the last 72 hours than we have in the last 6 months. So, so from that, I got in the business. I hadn't even worn a patch yet. I was totally going off of, I call him Kovo, his last name Kovaleski. I was going totally off of Kovo's story. He's been my dear friend all my life. I trust him with anything I have. And I started promoting this business, and I was just, I would have a question thrown at me, and I would call Kovo and I'd say, how do I answer that? How do I answer that? But anyway, I finally signed up, and then I got my patches a few days later, and I'm still telling all of success stories of Kovo. And I put my patch on the first day, and I didn't really notice a big difference. But the second day, I was going down Interstate 69, and I'm traveling about 70 miles an hour, and I'm talking to a friend of mine on the phone, and they said, how you feeling with this patch? And I said, oh my God, I feel like that I've got so much energy. I feel like I could get out beside my car right now and run down the interstate beside it. And they just died laughing. So the energy level was the first thing that I noticed. And then I stayed on that. My energy level was just great. It's not like a caffeine rush or anything. It's just, I mean, it brings you up and it makes your day just so much better. And then on a Monday night, I was sitting at my desk working. I'm self-employed, so I was working with some tickets that I needed to get done. And my feet are very ticklish. If anybody knows me, my feet are super ticklish. But for the last 7 years, I've not been able to feel my feet because of neuropathy. And I didn't have my shoes or socks on, and I pulled my foot back, and the carpet actually tickled my feet. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what? And then the next day, I was just like, I was putting my socks on. I'm like, man, I can feel my feet. It's just getting better and better. And then I really, I believed it, but I just couldn't believe it. And then last Wednesday morning, I was getting ready to take off to Joplin, Missouri for a conference. And I was in the shower, and I was like, I'm just going to test this one more time because I just can't believe it. It's too good to be true. So I shut the shower off, and I turned the faucet on solid hot. And I thought, man, if it's true, it's going to work. And I stuck my foot under the faucet, and it burnt my foot. I could feel the hot water. And it's the first time in like 7-8 years that I've been able to feel my feet like that. But it's just amazing. I've got so many success stories that I'm getting from my friends that I'm patching. I had a guy call me from Philadelphia today, and he just went through radiation for his throat cancer. And he said, man, he said, I'm just having a great day. He said, I want you to know I'm patched. So I want to tell Mike Kovaleski, thanks. He changed my life.
Yeah.
This is the most amazing thing that I think I've ever been involved in. I've done a lot of different things, but you know what? You don't have to sell this because it works.
Man,
It
Tony.
works.
Yes,
Thanks.
it does. That was powerful, bud. Wow. So you owe Kovaleski steak dinner. That's amazing.
Yeah, he is.
Amazing.
You know, and then he to top that off, he gave me his tickets to the Notre Dame Boise State game, and I went up there and got to spend the weekend with Joe Fazio. My goodness, how much better can you get than that? You know, and it's just everything. I mean, people are there to help you, and any questions you have about it, you can get an answer. Just a matter of picking up a phone and calling. And you get text messages from like Carl. Carl, you've reached out several times to me, and I appreciate that also. But yeah, it's easiest business I think I've ever done in my life because of just that patch right there. You don't have to sell it. It works.
Amen.
It works.
Amen, buddy. Thank you, brother,
Thank you.
so much. Really appreciate your
Thank
time
you so
tonight
much.
and your emotional testimony. That's powerful. You guys, I mean, what else do you need to know